Since where you place your attention is where you place your energy. When you wake up in the morning and immediately start putting your attention and your energy onto all the people that you have to see in the day, the places you have to go, the objects that you own, and the things that you do in the three-dimensional world, your energy becomes fractured. All of your creative energy is flowing away from you. What's good, bro? What's good, brother? Let's to all the things in the outer world that compete for your attention, your cell phone, your laptop, your bank account, your house, your, your coworkers, your spouse, your kids, your enemies, your pets, your medical conditions, and so on. It is obvious that most people's attention and energy are directed to their outer material world. And it begs the question, how much energy do you have left in your inner world of thoughts and your feelings to create a new reality? It's a good question. It's a good question, Joe. Oi, soul is awakening and your heart is pure. Thank you, brother. I, again, I think, with just sitting with that sort of statement, I feel like I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude. Like I'm just a musician that I feel like has a tremendous amount, some Reiki. Thank you, brother. But I definitely feel I'm just a dude, right? I'm just a everyday sort of average. Well, not maybe not average, maybe not everyday, but I'm just a dude who just has a lot to be grateful for. I feel like that's kind of just the way. I feel like when I look at my life, I'm like I'm stoked. There's a lot to be stoked for. I'm happy for the love I have in my life. I'm happy for the community I'm building. I'm happy for the guitar that I'm going to be getting in literally Wednesday. A new Ibanez. Like it's just I don't know. Life is such a beautiful experience. It really comes down to just seeing that. A little out of tune here. Super dope too. I feel like these recent streams. It's funny. I feel like I've noticed that these last few streams where I've achieved the most views I've ever gotten in any streams actually was at 2,700, which is pretty dope. But it's also like it's interesting to see that's like 95% of the people are like really kindred spirits. They're people that align with whatever's going on here, and then there's always the odd outlier that kind of just projects and creates whatever they're desiring to project. And it's fun. It's like it just simply seems that you can't win them all. You can't win everyone's perspective. There's always going to be a percentage of people that are sort of here to project their ego and make sense of it. And it's like as I'm going deeper in doing these streams, creating content that is hitting the mark and resonating with larger amounts of viewers, it's actually, strangely enough, it's a blessing to also be able to receive that which is sometimes polarizing. Yeah. Nice. Which color do I prefer? I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know how to answer that question. I resonate deeply with rich, deep, dark red, the root chakra. But of course, I think as I'm on the quest to sort of awaken the higher realms, just naturally, I think like the third eye is something that I've been focusing on beyond. So whatever you can feel intuitively. Hope you guys are having an awesome evening so far. Man, it was really cool. I had a really interesting moment. It's a very fun, full circle moment, which actually happens quite a lot in my life. But very actively, I was at the gym, and there was some dude was like 15 years old. Seemed like, very simply, it was his first 2 weeks training at a gym. And, I've been training, strength training, various forms of strength training, mobility training, calisthenic training for about 16 years now. And yeah, this dude kind of was, just trying to navigate the gym. He was trying to find a bench, trying to situate himself in one of the, what are they called? The Smith machines, the giant sort of bench press machines. Anyways, long story short, I asked to work in with him. I was like, hey, bro, here, just like, let's just train together. And it was such an interesting interaction where this dude was literally just like looking at myself, 15, 16 years ago. And, yeah, it was just a nice moment where I was just like training, doing my regular routine, you know, really just pushing myself, doing my handstand supersets, and etc. And yeah, it was just really a blessing to just have that continual perspective of, you know, some young man who's on his journey, who's new to kind of uh, bridging those worlds, you know, figuring out the fitness world, and it was just dope. I was like, man, this always feels like a high honor just to, yeah, just be a healthy example of the fitness community. And so that was cool. You know, I just got back from the gym literally like 10 minutes ago, and I feel like this dude seemed like a good kid and very much reminded me of, you know, myself when I started. And he's literally 15, so I started when I was about 13, 14, 15, so really cool. Oof. Okay. So let's just set this up here. Welcome to this live stream. Bro, look like Heath Ledger. Yo, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Oh, bro, you know it. The hat's actually dark garnet red. It'll come out at a peak moment. Don't worry. Look like Heath, yeah. Rest in peace, Heath. Honestly, Heath is he was a really interesting soul. You know, I never obviously didn't know him personally, but I don't know. I mean, I'm also in the film industry. I mainly do background acting. I've done some very small principal acting roles, but yeah, I'm just very new to that industry. But I feel like Heath was definitely a very, very powerful, very passionate artist, and yeah, it's interesting to share his kind of similar genetic. I'm struggling with fitness. Currently, I'm disabled, so it's really hard to work out, and I can barely stand up. But I wish I could work out more to feel pretty. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I commend you for even just having that desire, that awareness, because you know, training, strength training, calisthenic training, all those dimensions of it, right? It's just developing a conscious and loving relationship with your body. You know, that's the heart of it. It's creating a relationship with your vessel, you know, with your nervous system, all these different ways of doing it, with your dopaminergic system. So I commend you for, you know, being someone that really has, you know, stepped outside yourself and allowed yourself to just like form a healthy relationship with training, you know. And no, and I find, you know, when you find yourself, if you know, in that opportunity where you get to go back into the gym, you know, assuming you're not disabled of some sort, like permanently, but I really hope, yeah, you can just transfer that love and passion for fitness into other things. Because, you know, when we all injure ourselves, like I injured myself. I don't injure myself often, actually, because I train so consistently and have for many years. I don't stay injured for very long. Just, you know, I'm fortunate, I'm lucky, but yeah, I often just direct all my energy into something else, into guitar. That's really, yeah, that's actually, strangely enough, that's how this YouTube channel originally started. I mean, there was many different intentions of this YouTube channel, but I basically was training for music festivals, right? Like I'm a fire performer. I do acrobatics and various forms of performance disciplines. And basically, I was training for a festival. This was about November, right? I did a couple of festivals already, and I remember I was doing this. Actually, no, this was earlier than that. I think it was like September or something like that. But the idea was, anyways, I injured myself. I was training J-step into backflip because I trained parkour a lot at that point. And basically, I did a J-step into a backflip, and I somehow miscalculated my entry. I don't know. I did this trick probably for like 9 months, every single day, like 20 times a day, and somehow I miscalculated it, and I landed on my clavicle, and I injured myself. I was disabled probably for about 7, 8 weeks. And again, I healed very fast. I was very fortunate with this. But when I injured myself, literally as I was picking myself back up after I, you know, failed this backflip, I immediately told myself, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go home. I'm going to direct all my energy into my guitar. And that was actually the moment where I was like, you know what, I'm injured, that's okay. I'm gonna spend all my energy in playing guitar and growing my YouTube business. And now, fast forward 7.5 months from zero, like that was the first moment that those 7 weeks set the foundation for how this YouTube channel is today. You know, now I'm fortunate to have 1.2K subscribers, and I'm well on my way. In 3 weeks, I'm going to be monetized, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. But that foundation, that surge of momentum was directed because I injured myself. I was disabled. And all I did was like, you know what? All right, I'm going to use this momentum, use this passion, direct this right into my YouTube channel, into my guitar. And that's exactly what I did. And my life was genuinely better for it. So, you know, I'm happy for you that you're passionate, that you desire to train and honor your body, but recognize the ability you have with the tools that you have. That's what I would say. Yeah. But I do hope you make a swift recovery. Yeah. Yeah. Let's master that just a little bit for that. Man, though, as I was saying at the start of the stream, insane to think Wednesday, Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, that's when I'm gonna have a new electric guitar. You know, I've been without an electric guitar for about 3 months. That's when my Jackson actually got damaged, and it's insane to think Wednesday I'm getting brand new Ibanez Redburst guitar. I'm super hyped. Did you know the guitar player Stas Ton, his song Eternal Flight, is a masterpiece? Word, yeah, brother. Stas Ton is one of my favorite influences. Especially song The Golden Dragon, like his embodiment of how he performs, how he really like soulfully expresses is actually one of my core influences. So I love that you made that connection where you shared that music. Oh. Oh, that was a mistake. It kind of tangled in itself. There we go. That's what we want to do. What is good? Welcome to this live stream. Do you know the guitar? Yes, that's legendary. Post most of my energy into the channel. Nice. Interesting. As a bullet to my legs, made my martial arts dreams kind of not possible. Currently exploring esports. Interesting. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, Astroman Weaver. I mean, man, that is, you've been really bestowed a very powerful, potent lesson, you know, and unraveling. Like, that's really like, you know, and I hope you the best on your recovery. I get you. I trained martial arts for, well, Taekwondo about 8 years when I was a child, and then Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai for about 6.5 years. I haven't trained in about 4 or 5 years, but yeah, I get you. Martial arts, this is the thing, and I'm sure we all have unique journeys, but I feel the path of a martial artist is it's a lifelong endeavor. You know, it's not something that, you know, if you're a kid, you train for 5-10 years and like, wow, that was so amazing, and then you went on to other parts of your life. You can resume these martial forms when you're like 40, when you're 50. That thing's like jiu-jitsu, that is. You know, I think training is a parallel that often should and will transcend time. It's a community, right? It's a deeper devotion that I think kind of doesn't really again, it doesn't box itself into the regular models of how we experience time, as it should. You know, it's almost like you can wake up, there's many athletes or jiu-jitsu, judo practitioners that, you know, they turn 40 or something years old, and then they decide, you know what, I'm going to start training jiu-jitsu, and they're like devoted, incredible martial artists, and they just like awaken a whole new chapter. And I believe in that heavily. Whoa. I'm going to center that a bit. Glad you're getting traction a bit. Jealous, happy for you. YouTube stuff is hard. Word. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think, yeah, you were here previously. Yeah. I mean, we can talk about it if you'd like at some point, but the reality is, yes, YouTube is, it's not for everybody. And, you know, I like to be very blatant. I like to be very forthcoming. That's just how I am in general, especially for understanding YouTube, because I've actually put insane amounts of time into YouTube. You know, just in general. Like, I'm a devoted dude. I don't half-ass things in general, which, you know, obviously I think people, you know, should do. They should apply themselves passionately. But yeah, you know, the truth of the matter is, like, I like to be very bold and forthcoming, is that a lot of people are probably not going to succeed on YouTube. You know, they're gonna try, they're gonna get discouraged, they're going to, you know, create limiting beliefs, they're going to almost like associate one-dimensional pieces of how they're growing a YouTube, and they're not like thinking outside the box of how they actually can succeed. It's almost like, and this is a further thing that I won't go too deep down this rabbit hole, but YouTube is a perfect example of how a lot of people don't actually understand what it actually takes to succeed. You know, they don't actually understand how to truly apply themselves and devote themselves to something to succeed. And, you know, we won't go too deep down that rabbit hole because, you know, this is a music channel. I want to hold space, create a beautiful meditative experience. But that being said, this whole channel that is devoted to teaching guitar and creating like a meditative, you know, sound bath, sound journey space, that is a perfect example. It perfectly illustrates what it really takes in many rights to discipline yourself and apply yourself. Basically, like, to become an advanced guitar player, or even just a guitar player as a whole. If if you've picked up a guitar and applied yourself, you know, dedicated yourself to some degree, I commend you highly. Like, many people, they pick up a guitar and they put it down. You know, they put it down and they never do it again. You know, they think they failed. They really struggle to understand how to break through things that have high learning curves. And I get it. Like, obviously, I mean, I was 11, 12 years old when I was grappling with this. Like, I learned very early on when I was like young, like 10, 11, 12, what it means to actually persevere to something. You know, I was never naturally talented at a single thing I did. I mean, maybe there's certain things that I had a little bit of a natural inclination, but guitar was never one of them. I was always very I had to try and work very hard to get good at guitar. But anyways, what I'm simply saying is the ability to succeed in YouTube, I think, really does require almost like a strategic mindset mixed with, yeah, a level of consistency, devotion. You have to basically, what I want to simply say to just summarize this is, you as a YouTuber need to have a higher vision. You need to have a powerful intention. If you're just trying to grow a YouTube with a sort of like, you know, lukewarm, sort of half-assed, like, yeah, we'll try, give it a go, do it once a month or once a week, whatever, and you don't even understand your vision, like, you don't think, you know what, I want to really do something powerful, I want to grow something beautiful, and you're not, you know, having a powerful, ambitious vision, you're probably going to fail. Like, you are probably going to fail. I mean, I don't know, don't take those words to heart. People can, you know, you can have anomalies, you can get strokes of luck, you can, I don't know, have some sort of thing maybe that works in your favor. But I really have to say is, like, the core thing, if you're gonna grow a YouTube channel, is you gotta be a visionary. You gotta be like a visionary. You gotta, like, you know, be really ambitious and create something that you really feel is complementary to this YouTube space, and, you know, then you gotta bring this vision to life. Anyways, I could talk about that all day long, and, you know, maybe another stream I would love to share more about my journey, because obviously I'm a new YouTuber. You know, I'm in 1.2K subscribers. I'm far from where I really desire to be as a full-fledged YouTuber. But I'll be honest, I approach doing YouTube the same way I approach many things in life. You know, I've succeeded in my mind way before I've succeeded on a sort of metric monetary level. And truthfully, I think, you know, I've grown this channel from 0 subscribers to 1.2K in about just under 8 months. And for me, I'm happy with that. I've been happy way before I made metrics and monetary success of any sort, but yeah, it's an interesting thing to think about. I'm looking for something. That's what I'm looking for. 8 years ago, I got my first guitar for $40. Nice. Dude, that's dope. It's funny. I've been playing the same guitar. Well, this one for 11 years. My other one since I was 11 years old. So for like 20 plus years, I've had my one Jackson. I've been rocking the same two guitars for pretty much most of my life. So yeah, I love guitars just as much as anyone. Like I'm enamored to see and look at different types of guitars. But man, I don't know. I'm a perfect example of a dude that's basically just had like a couple guitars and just stuck with learning to master the one guitar. You know, I think it's about quality over quantity. And of course, you can have a quantity of quality, but music, man. Nice, nice. Watch how you speak to this amazing person. Who's the what? I'm so confused. Dog, people playing this that. I got you. I got you. I don't know. It's like I'm under the impression the more I blow up as a YouTuber, like that is I'm playing a YouTube stream to a larger community. I'm eventually just gonna have to start like not even acknowledging like the trolls, the projections. It's like, you know, I like to hold space and kind of like, you know, poke holes in people's projections if they are. But yeah. Well, you're a weird fellow, my guy. Like I'm think you're confused of the nature of this. I'm facilitating the stream, Bradley, but thank you for sharing your stream perspective. I've monetized. You just gotta stay at it, bro. Nice. I'm monetized. Yeah, bro. Oh yeah, nah. I give it 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Maybe 4 weeks tops, yeah. 4 weeks and monetization is inevitable. I do this by I know the math. Like I'm grinding these streams. I understand how much watch hours I get per streams. That's yeah. I'm just grinding. I'm not even like depending on luck. It's literally like I do multiple streams, I get multiple views and it's like I know exactly how it'd be beautiful if I have some long format content video blow up or something, but I don't know. I'm not really depending on that. I believe in grinding. But welcome to this live stream, friends. It's gonna look through the beautiful comments later for sure. Yeah, bro, it's gonna be an exciting time. Like the way I look at it is I'm actually genuinely content, right? I'm genuinely happy and really excited just to hold space, to do these streams, to create this community and this portal as it is. Not even making a single cent, right? But I know for a fact when I get monetized, when I get ad revenue, when I'm growing this channel to a larger place, which is inevitable, it's going to be even more exciting, like to make larger moves, to be able to invest in, different instruments and higher quality content. It's an exciting parallel, but I'm literally already happy. I'm already content with what I'm growing, with the growth, with connecting to people, to creating just what I've been creating so far. So it's only just gets more and more illustrious, it seems. Welcome to this live stream, friends. So, clip the damn thumbnail. Nice. This is a 3D printed thumbnail, my guy. Yeah. Man, what is the unhinged? Like, I'm confused. Somehow the algorithm is delivering lots of, like, just trolls all day long. For those of you that are new, welcome to this channel. Welcome. I teach guitar, I do meditative sound journeys, and yeah, the intention of this channel is to grow sort of a meditative space that, focus on, invites devoted musicians or people that desire to learn guitar, connect creatively. Yeah. So welcome, and if those of you that don't align with that, kind of find themselves projecting negativity, really just aren't on the path, then I actively invite you to leave this stream. Yeah. But thank you for being present here. I think my guitar went a little bit out of tune here, but yeah. Magic. I really need to just get new speakers. I feel like the bass is a little bit. Magic. Well, thank you for making this easier to weed out those that are clearly not my target audience. I don't know what to tell you, Bradley. Thank you. Thank you. That's cool. That's cool. Big fan of the Australian painter, of all his work and his other endeavors. Nice, nice. Just play Brody. Don't explain it in the next 10 minutes. I beg your views. Go, whoa. I'm so confused, dog. Thanks for the unsolicited advice, but thank you. Thank you. Slap harmonics aren't really executing that well. Yeah. Also an Australian painter. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, I'm confused. If people, are you guys not familiar with slap harmonics or artificial harmonics? I mean, if so, welcome to this channel. Yeah. I think I need to replace it. I use a natural adhesive. Well, not a natural one, but it's like a, what's it? It's like a very low level adhesive tape. It's like this like double-sided adhesive. You just take a tiny strip and then you just, you pop it on there. Yeah. Now I gotta say, like, I appreciate, again, in some regard, it's like, here we go. Like, guys, people that are just like dropping unhinged, irrelevant comments about, I don't know, this, that, the other thing. You're just making it easy, guys. You're making it really easy to filter through and just send you guys on your way. But for those of you that are here to be actually a part of this target audience, thank you. Thank you, friends. Oof, that bass is fucking cooked. I'm looking forward to getting some new speakers because I feel like this is kind of imbalanced here. Cheers, thank you. Each string is a little bit off here. Not here for the excerpt. I'm so confused, bro. One second. Legendary. This instrument ever make you melancholy? Feel melancholy? Absolutely, my friend. Yeah. More than not, I mean, I feel like it's not even like it feels like it's a very ancient sound that kind of yeah, it's like a friend of mine, she sort of told me it's almost like it sounds more like a ritual or like a very yeah, like a ritual sort of sound or a prayer. You know, it's like the way the pan flute is, it's just not like a regular instrument where it's using like microtones and it's using like a very ancient sound where it's just bamboo tubes that are creating a sound. Interesting. Yeah, but excuse me. Yeah, but I find it interesting how let's grab some water. So it's the same recurring theme. I spill everywhere with that. You know, I really feel these YouTube streams, like being a YouTube streamer continuously. You know, I like to sort of look at this in an objective way. And I've said this a lot on my other stream, you know, it's like thousands of views, a lot of people flowing through. And I'd say like vast majority, like 90% of the people, pretty dope, pretty level-headed, pretty self-aware. More or less, you know, they're just here to sort of, you know, talk about music, maybe talk about philosophy or just kind of chime in. But it's interesting that, you know, I feel society really reveals itself very actively, obviously through projections, where if, you know, people are really showing how disconnected they are from regular human interaction. You know, it's like if they're just trying to like really just be so outlandish, unhinged, or just like, you know, they're trying to evoke a reaction. It's like, it's a very weird parallel where it's like, it's strange how when people become addicted to social media, right? When they become addicted to YouTube or, you know, they're dopaminergically, they're just unconsciously addicted. Instead of practicing self-awareness, you know, being like, hey, let's take a step back. Let's live in the real world. You know, maybe let's go do some productive things. Let's nourish some healthy dopamine. It seems like humans often, the way they're programmed, they have this tendency to compulsively chase that high. They're unconsciously like they're chasing that high. It's like, and I feel like people that are trolls or, they're trying to, fly off the deep end where they're going through streams, launching off their weird unsolicited advice or projecting, negative narratives, right? These are people that are unconsciously addicted. They're addicted to their phones in such a blatant and clear way that they've lost touch with a simple realm of self-awareness. Now, obviously, some people here just to troll. They want to make people laugh. They want to make themselves laugh. That's cool. I'm all for laughter. But man, it seems like Vista, cute, cool. Articulate is a rare connection. Yeah, man. I mean, articulating, communicating. I said this earlier today. Like, I had some friends and random people pop on the stream, and someone was just point blank asking about like my opinion on dating apps, so my opinion on XYZ relating to dating. And I remember I gave him a simple answer that had various different elements of it, but the simplest, right? I return to this thought a lot. And a lot of people suck at communicating. Like, they really, really do. In modern 25, it's almost embarrassing that a lot of people, and obviously if we're talking about just extending that into communicating with the opposite sex, it's even more embarrassing. It's like, it's bizarre. It's a bizarre truth that a lot of people, men and women, of course, we all as humans, we've for some reason lost the innate and very important art form of just communicating, of literally just like, hey, this is my real truth. This is my authentic, genuine truth that I desire to communicate. And what happens when you fail to communicate? What happens when you do not develop the developed behavioral model to communicate? Well, just like sort of what I was saying is, you compulsively act. You act out. You try to be like, okay, well, maybe this weird level of, I don't know, expression is just going to. But yeah, it's basically just like people are going to, they're going to just compulsively be controlled by these compulsions. Yeah, I hear you. Thank you. Thank you. I will do that in a sec. Anyways, that's just my food for thought, because it extends a lot of what I feel like, connecting towards why people are like, all right, well, why are these things like, say, dating apps, or why is there such a weird, I'd say, level of disconnect for the modern man or woman or whatever. But it comes down to a core fundamental skill, is people's inability to communicate, just not really understanding how vital that is. And again, I feel like it's a very interesting, telling dimension when people arrive, maybe on these streams or wherever they're going, and they're operating on this very like, fragmented, maybe compulsive place where they're almost like showing how much they genuinely have lost the art or the ability to communicate. And I feel like part of what I like to do on these streams, I like to play guitar, I like to hold space, I like to, just put out some good intention for the people of the YouTube land, because I love YouTube. I love communities as a whole. I love the community of YouTube. But I think what I'm really trying to also do is trying to just, embody or showcase what I think it means to actually authentically communicate, express one's truth, because these are important things. And I think for those that don't actually process that, maybe it triggers them. They're like, oh, damn, like this guy's just trying to actually, express authentically, or just it surfaces something within themselves that they don't like to look at. Then, that's just, that's a gift for them. That's a projection that they're there to unpackage. Yeah. The value of life will be riddled more of contradiction and philosophical inconsistencies. The value for life. Thank you for sharing, Jamesy. But it's reverb back to ting and yang, back to yin and yang, reverts. Absolutely, absolutely, my friend. I mean, again, it's like, I'm not trying to say this, from a place of, almost like hierarchy, or being like, oh no, like, let's shame this, that. No, it's like, people just they need to hear this. Like, people need to like awaken and be like, wait a second, what does it really look like to communicate? Like, what is this? It's almost like this is the core thing I really want to emulate, right? Is I think for people, the reason why I really feel called to express these things is a lot of people, I think they're lost, they're trapped, they're locked in patterning, right? They're very locked, they're very trapped, they're in like almost like a paralysis where they don't even understand how much a power they have in their ability to just actually successfully and authentically communicate their truth. It's almost like the core root of a lot of their suffering, a lot of their, maybe weird projections and fragmentation is literally rooted in their failure to intelligently and effectively communicate. And it's unfortunate, it's like I think people they just need to start. They just need to go on the path. They need to, look at themselves and be like, you know what? How can I be authentic with myself? Exercise the ability to communicate. Like this whole YouTube channel was basically birthed off of various epiphanies, many, many years ago about COVID when I was writing lots of music and, reflecting on my life, doing lots of magic mushrooms. And I came to this deep core realization that I wanted to be a YouTuber. And before I became a YouTuber, I spent multiple years basically strengthening the art of communicating, spending multiple hours every single day for multiple years going into forests. I would go for a run in the forest, I would take my DSLR with me, and I would flip it on, and I would philosophize, I would psychoanalyze, I would pull these threads of my psyche and try to strengthen the ability to communicate. And I feel like part of my intention with this channel is I deeply desire for people to make this connection, realize how much power they have to strengthen their ability, to refine their ability to communicate. And it's really a very powerful endeavor. Anyways, it feels relevant because, the nature of like a lot of what feel like I'm experiencing here. There we go. We're going to take this outside for a moment. But the reality is, again, I feel like the nature of what a lot of people are emulating, whether they're conscious of this or not, is they're displaying like a genuine, underdeveloped ability to communicate. Like this is like the thing is, I'm not looking at it like people are saying X, Y, Z of like, the nature of it. Some people are, they're trying to express their points. Maybe they're trying to share, their truth or perspective relating to whatever's flowing through their mind. Maybe something musically or maybe something in a YouTube realm they really want to get off their chest, right? But a lot of these people, like I feel like, looking at the comment section, again, I've been fortunate to be blessed with more views. Like the algorithm has just hit me with waves of views, more than I'm usually experiencing. All-time high, which I'm loving, and I'm going to continue pulling those threads, and I'm going to work with that momentum. But I feel like the more I recognize that there's a lot of people that fundamentally are just so lost in their ability to communicate. And obviously this is a YouTube live stream. Like people can comment, they can share their truth, they can engage, they can join this channel, they have free will to communicate whatever they desire. But I feel like as a YouTuber that really desires to, be a full-time YouTuber, I'm very committed to creating a community and a portal. I want to get to the center. Like I really desire to get to the core of what a lot of these people that are, projecting or trolling or maybe expressing hatred or whatever, or not even hatred, but negative projections. I feel like I'm just a curious dude where I like to like think about this, like, interesting, like what can we really learn from what a lot of people are sort of collectively, again, not even all of you may be watching, but the outliers, the random people that desire to come into these streams and project negative narratives. Like, what exactly is going on here? Beyond just banning them and, removing their ability to comment. Like that's one part of it. A moderation, that's fine. But it's like, I'm curious what goes through a lot of these people's minds where they've got to this point where they think it's like, this is the action, this is the move. It's just to be unhinged, to just like project all this weird sort of I don't know, just like confused, neglected communication narrative. I don't know, it's weird. Anyways, energy is emotion, and energy is an energy is emotion in motion. Yeah, brother. Yeah, Joe Dispenza articulates that beautifully in many different ways, and I've really enjoyed Joe Dispenza's work. Often in this channel, like weeks of previous, right, when I often love to talk about like quantum mechanics and just quantum theory and understanding like there are deep parallels that are emotion. If I want to simply summarize, it's our thoughts, our words, and our relationship with our physiological body. The way that these are interacting is profound. Our psychological body interacting with our physiological body and our neurological body. All of these have such a powerful powerful interaction or interactive ability. Handstand push-ups and sprints today. Really? Dude, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, I just came back from the gym where I was like supersetting handstands with bench press and various like qigong movements until destruction. It feels great. I haven't done my cold plunges in the last few days because I was under the impression, I'm still not too sure to this day, that I was getting an allergic reaction from plunging in the rivers too much. But what is good, T-Mac? That's legendary though, bro. Like, that's honestly, bro, I commend you. Like, straight up, I speak of this very openly in this stream. Handstands, well, even beyond handstands training, of course, as a whole, but cold plunges and sprinting, bro, like, that is just like, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. Passion is shining. Why, thank you. I mean, bro, like, that's the thing is, like, you catch me, people catch me, objectively people catch me on these streams. They flow through, they chime in, maybe they join this community, maybe they listen to me play guitar, but they don't really, they may or may not realize the underlying context is I'm not really bothered. I don't take things personal by people's narratives, wherever they are. People say comments. Most people are dope as fuck. Like, let's be real here. 95% are really chill. There's the odd percent of people that don't necessarily align with this community, or they just want to say some negative projections. But what I'm simply saying is I'm living my best life right now. Like, I'm pretty fucking happy. Like, I have a beautiful, phenomenal partner in my life. I play guitar, avidly at an advanced level. I get to teach guitar. I'm growing a YouTube successfully. Like, I'm really, like, I love life. I love life very much. So it's almost like there's literally nothing that any person could come into this chat and, like, dump some weird negative projection, or that could even phase me at all. Like, my life is literally, I love my life. And it's, again, it's a moment of almost like exploration and curiosity to see. It's almost like, this is like an interesting social experiment to be like, man, like, I'm a dude that's sharing a YouTube channel. I love my life. I feel grateful. I feel blessed. That's part of why I'm bringing this channel to the forefront, is I want to, share the things that have made my life objectively better. Be it perspectives, be it the music that I've connected with for most of my life. And it blows my mind. Like, wow, there's people that literally pop into these streams. Not a lot of people, but there's people, the outliers, that just are so disconnected from understanding not only my intention or a person's intention as a whole, but they're just, they just need to probably get the hell off their phone and, go work on their life. Go live in the real world, meet some people, play some guitar chords, like, do some shit. Yeah, anyways, facts. This channel's inspired those exercises. That's beautiful, brother. Trust, the best is yet to come. Like, that's the beauty, is like, I spoke of this earlier on this channel. Amara, I believe it was. There was a person that's a regular viewer. She was expressing, I think it's a she. They're expressing basically how they're trying to make a YouTube, and they're like saying it's difficult. And I remember expressing very openly, absolutely, it is difficult. But the core thing, if you want to succeed in YouTube, among various things, just studying YouTube, being consistent, being disciplined, being devoted, is you have to have a vision. You have to have a vision. You have to be a visionary. You have to be a visionary. You got to, like, see beyond. And I'll be honest, the visions I have with this YouTube channel, like, that's part of why I couldn't get stifled or, discouraged, even if I tried, is I know for a fact that this YouTube channel is something that I'm going to grow into such a massive thing. And not even just about YouTube, obviously. It's about the deeper dimensions of it, how it connects. But, basically, I'd have a deep desire to want to just help people, help people understand their mind, get motivated, connect with music, just do things that I really think are larger than myself. So, yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited for what I feel is going to be a part of this channel in the future. Bridging worlds with different ways of honoring the body and connecting with the body and learning to, just connect musically. Wow, I feel like part of my strings intonation is a little bit off here. But that's the thing is, even I think in the simplest right, I'm coming to a conclusion that surely there's a small percentage of people, these trolls or outliers, that they obviously just they can't be helped. They can't even help themselves, right? And it was kind of what I was saying is it's like they're displaying a really embarrassingly low ability to communicate at all. Like like it's almost like these are the people that need to get automatically just banned, lose their comment rights. And I don't like to do that. I like to let people express their truth. I like to make people feel like, they don't have to filter themselves or, just by default. But obviously, there are some people that it's literally just a simple thing. They just need to be muted. They need to lose their rights and realize that, you know, they basically just don't deserve the ability to communicate because they can't do so in an emotionally intelligent way. Wow, it's like it's beginning to hail right now. Magic. That's what I need to do, is can't live in the comfort of the sweet words. That's what I need to do. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, brother, is like, I feel very fortunate to be a guy that's just, I don't know, I remember being 9 years old, man, and I literally was like, I had visions of being a rock star and having like intense visions of just ambition. It was almost like I feel like, I speak very openly. I'm like I had natural talent of this, that, and music, and it's true. I've had to work extremely hard to get anywhere in life, but the reality is, I also think I had the ability to just be ambitious as a young child. Like I literally was like the kind of dude that, for whatever reason, I just knew, like, as a deep core in my being, and I do this to this day. Is like, if you're gonna dream something, dream ambitious. Like, be a fucking ambitious dreamer. See the largest, most incredible, extraordinary vision that you could possibly imagine, and make that a reality. It's the same thing I do with literally everything. And people like Joe Dispenza literally reinforce this. Like, if we understand, the way that the mind processes everything, our thoughts and our experience, it's literally like Joe Dispenza's entire thesis is basically around letting yourself experience elevated emotions and making that your reality before it becomes so. Which is a thing I've been doing since I was like 9 years old. It's like you basically just create a vision of a life you desire to live, like a beautiful, dream and ambition that you really desire to live. And when you fill your being with that, you make that your reality. You literally, you take the action and you build your life around those elevated emotions that makes you realize that you can achieve anything. It's really, it's sometimes life is really that simple. It's like you literally just got to dream big and honor that dream and follow that. Let yourself build a life that is just like full of like, feeling those romanticization for the beautiful things in life. Yeah, magic. That's what I need to do and can't live in the comfort zone of sweet words. Yeah. I love this thing so much. Oof. That was a big spot. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna do one more. Just gonna put on. It's clipping out. Clipping out like a sound bowl. That's crazy. That's what's funny is with the tonal ramp is basically what happens sometimes is the reverberation, right? Because it's like there's a system where it vibrates above the natural resonance pattern. It actually picks up on the resonance pattern, and then it just keeps on circulating. Gets to a point where it just sometimes it loops, and then it kind of just goes off in this weird little circle. I hope you find yourself honoring your somatic body, letting yourself feel into your felt experience. I think my E string limp went a little bit out of tune there. All my strings went out. I feel it's the cold. It's definitely when you step outside, strings can go out of tune very quickly with the cold. Magic. Yeah. This is my intonation's a little bit off, but that's okay. Thank you, brother. Shadow Man. Yeah, dog, that just happens inherently. Just the way the hat just makes me look like a shadowy figure. It's kind of great, though. It's kind of like I'm two characters. I'm this character. If I'm take off the hat, put on the hat, and suddenly... I love that sound. The man is cooler than I'll ever be accepted. Okay. I don't know if it's a competition, my dog, but thank you for the compliment. Is your name August Rush by chance? Yo, I saw that movie. I saw that movie the other day. About 3 days ago. Everyone was just recommending me to see that movie, and I love that movie now. It's like one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. And actually, it blew my mind to see that August Rush, literally the dude, you know, the character in the movie, he's actually like slapping the guitar like that. Like, I've been doing slap harmonics, especially like even when I'm doing here. I mean, it was clearly he was just doing it in like a studio recorded, you know, movie magic sort of way. But man, like, that was just so heartwarming to see that in that movie. It's literally just like he's just like actually doing this kind of slap harmonic fingerstyle thing. I was just beautiful. It's literally such a magical movie. Man, though, I'm so excited. And I've said this like once or twice or three times, but the idea is I'm getting an Ibanez guitar. I'm getting an Ibanez guitar in Wednesday, at Wednesdays for 2 days now. Like, honestly, I'm just so elated in the idea that I'm going to have an electric guitar again and just be able to shred and rock out again. It's beautiful. Like, I love the acoustic guitar deeply. Like, truthfully, I've been in love with it. And I feel like a lot of my style, my specialty is acoustic guitar, but it's just such an exciting thing to think of, just pushing myself so far to my comfort zone again and just evolving my style again to just play this beautiful Ibanez. It's very exciting. Magic. Do you speak Spanish? Nice. Absolutely gorgeous. I agree. It's something that I honestly could just spend so many hours just in the forest, really just connecting with this instrument. Yeah. I've been playing this pan for about 5 years now, but or five, probably five, maybe coming up to six. But I carry it with me everywhere. That's the thing is everywhere I go, I'm literally just like I have this on me, on my bag. It's just like such a beautiful instrument to just always have and interject at random times. It kind of just grounds you very, very powerfully. Like it just kind of like lets you really root yourself in a very ancient sound. And then of course you can just play like anime themes and like all these beautiful sounds. Yeah, but no, I don't speak Spanish. I would love to learn Spanish. I feel one day I really would love to learn Japanese. Japanese, Spanish, French, and Swedish. Probably in that order. Yeah. Haha, it's a good movie. So good to watch. Guitar sounds super nice. Yo, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Nice. Thank you, brother. I think messages are being translated automatically. Ah. That's wild. That's wild. Didn't know it was a thing, but I guess, yeah, AI translate. Attack went very strong. Nice. Yeah, always. I'm here. I'm on a quest. I'm on a quest to grow and expand. Just grinding out these streams, building these watch hours. I feel very blessed though. I feel very fortunate that YouTube has been like really just like pushing these streams. The algorithm has been really favoring my engagement. So it's beautiful. You know, I'm on that quest. I feel like, again, gonna get monetized 3 weeks time. Like really doing the metrics, doing the math. I give it 3 weeks and I'll be at my 4,000 watch hours. Well, actually, 3 weeks I'll be at 3,000. Maybe 4 weeks I'll be at 4,000. We'll see. That being said, though, I have a few tricks up my sleeve. You know, I feel like I have some long format YouTube videos that I think are really strong, beautiful concepts that I'm gonna really intentionally bring to life. So we'll see how that goes. Your music is healing. Thank you. Your appearance is very suitable to wear the rising sun again. Nice. The rising sun. I'm not sure what that is, but that sounds dope as fuck. Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the stream. Let's see, hour 12. Yo, thank you, brother. I agree so much. I agree so much with that. You know, I feel like this particular pan flute as a whole, I find when I go to forests and mountains, like valleys, it's such a powerful sound. Like it echoes. It's almost very much like this ancient instrument was meant to be played in large valleys. Like it's like the fullest sound reverberates for miles. It's beautiful. Such a great instrument. Such a great instrument. Yeah. It'd be cool in a video. The background scene. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Good morning, at least where I live. You're very productive. Word. Thank you, brother. I am a productive dude. Especially I feel like with this like vision of creating a YouTube channel, it just like lights my soul on fire. Like half the time I'm like freaking just going, man. I'm just like, I treat this YouTube stuff, you know, like I do with everything in life. I take it like very seriously in the sense where I'm honestly playful. I'm, you know, having fun. I'm living with a lot of like, you know, I'm honoring myself and honoring play. But I feel like, yeah, I feel like, you know, so inspired, like so tremendously inspired to grow this YouTube channel. It's great. Yeah. It's good to set boundaries though sometimes. This would be like shit. Like I gotta take a step back. Yeah, it's like a native. Well, this is a Peruvian, or not a Peruvian. Sorry, it's Romanian style instrument. It's this is actually from Poland, and there is a Peruvian style one, and definitely it's similar. Like these low notes have a very similar sound to a native flute. Yeah, yeah. Very fun sound. Yes, because the best place to play the pan pipes. Yeah, bro. It really is. Like, man, I'm very excited. Well, that's the thing is, I speak this very openly. My intention, and this is kind of like a vision that, you know, I've been growing this channel for about 7.5 months now, probably coming up 8 months, being streaming for about 5 months. But the long-term vision, like I'd say in about 4 weeks, I desire to get monetized, start being a full-time YouTuber, you know, pulling in checks, stacking money, and getting to a place where in the next few months, I'd love to just travel, you know, travel to Thailand, travel to Peru, travel to Paris, travel to Japan, and do this full-time YouTuber stuff. As a musician, you know, music YouTuber, traveling, just travel to just all these beautiful parts, you know, rooted by this vision of being a YouTuber as I'm going about and just sharing this journey. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I'm very confident that I can execute that. So that's just very simply, I think it'd be so magical to, yeah, have that ability to be in some sort of remote, beautiful oasis playing the pan flute, you know, really just honoring and connecting with the different cultures with the sound, you know, the sound of this. Yeah, magic, magic. I was listening to two guys from Peru last week in my home country, UK, England. They're super cool music, live music. That's magical. Like, and that's the thing is like, you know, I've been very transparent where this channel it started from me busking, like from me creating a busking act about a year and a couple months ago. You know, I had the desire. I was, you know what, I'm gonna create a busking act. I'm gonna go into my local community and just perform music. You know, perform various styles of like pan flute and guitar and all these different elements of it. And yeah, I did that for like 5 6 months, and it like electrified my passion as a performance artist, as a guitarist, as a etc. as a performer, and then I took a lot of that energy and that vision and I directed this into creating this YouTube channel. Where I was literally just like, basically seeing this as an extension of busking. And as it gets warmer, when the summer comes on, I'm definitely gonna just do busking live streams and you know go to beaches and different parks and parts of nature, and just do all sorts of I don't know random stuff, this random human stuff, random human dynamics. It shows a symbol of a circle, the swirling pattern inside the circle. I knew what it meant. Interesting. I feel you. That's very cool. That's magical. And then I told them what it meant to do with the ancient travelers. Not of this earth, but in true facts I witnessed myself. Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, I really feel just so ready to be humbled. You know, I feel like a huge part of being a YouTuber that I was attracted to is it's a humbling experience, right? It's very humbling to present yourself, you know, transparently, to be vulnerable, put out your art form just endlessly to be received, you know, by this larger realm. And a huge part of being a YouTuber is learning to align yourself with that which is your community, that is your perceiver, is your viewer base and your viewership. And I think, you know, a lot of us we're sort of apt to forget how massive this world is. You know, it's like how connected we all are, how multidimensional this experience is, you know, in different parts, different cultures, different parts of the world. And I'm excited to just go travel, like to, you know, bridge these worlds and my intention with how music has rooted me and really changed my life, and then go and travel the world and bring this same intention to my YouTube channel. Like it's a very potent time in my life personally. The perfect time to become a YouTuber. So I'm very excited for how this journey is unraveling. And it's only been like literally like 7 months. And already like the everything is crystallizing so beautifully. Like the vision is just becoming very clear. So I'm very blessed, I feel. I feel like my pan flute is actually getting a little bit, it's getting temperature change. It's getting cold, so the temperature's changing to the sun. Yeah. The pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx are not Egyptian, but they're a lot older than 12,500 years old. Yeah. Bro, I'm just so excited to go to Egypt. You know, I love Africa. I'm very connected with Africa. I mean, and many rights, you know, the name of this channel is Ashe, right? The word itself has universal meaning in various contexts, but the way the Yoruba African people have connected with the word Ashe is just so beautiful and inspiring. Like I have such a deep love and reverence for the African culture. It's just astonishing. And like just to think, yeah, I could one day find myself try to explore that deeper and understand it a little deeper. That'd be so beautiful. Built by giants. Something of that, yeah, something of that nature, man. Well, I think we're going to preemptively. Usually, I do like to do these streams for about, you know, maybe 2 hours, kind of feel it out, you know, sort of saturate and build this community. But I think, I got home from the gym right before I did this stream, and I feel I'm gonna go and just take some time to decompress, eat some food, write some music, work on some vocal pieces, and yeah. But I deeply appreciate everyone being present here. I deeply appreciate the support continuously. This is like, I feel very received by this community, by YouTube, and I'm continuously just grinding away, putting out this intention, crystallizing my intention. But you $5 didn't watch The Waking Life. Nah, yeah, didn't watch it. You got me, dog. I don't watch a lot of cinema unless I'm like sitting with, my girlfriend or something and just like, just watching. But I spend a lot of time, bro, just creating music and being present. Watch it. Won't be sorry. Watch The Waking Life. The Waking Life. I keep that in mind. I'm sure. So is The Waking Life is not is it not a movie? Was this like a documentary? I know someone was recommending a documentary of a sort. Yeah, and lucid dreaming, The Waking Life. I am into lucid dreaming. I am to lucid dreaming. All right, bro, you've convinced me. Once I exit the stream, I'm gonna check out The Waking Life. I'm gonna check out The Waking Life. To lucid dreaming. So, The Waking Life. The Waking Life. Snorsages. The Snosberg. There's a video of me stood next to the ancient Stargate opening in 2006 England, Cheshire. That's magical, bro. That's magical. Wow. Time travel is real. That it is. I believe this. I mean, I don't have any tangible, genuine proof, but I believe in a lot of metaphysical anomalies and quantum anomalies. Like, I believe in them deeply. Yeah. Buttermilk biscuits. Yes. 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 Quite. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, thank you so much for chiming in. I deeply appreciate you guys. And very much, if you desire to support this channel, if this content resonates with you, I teach guitar. I do meditative sound journeys among various types of YouTuber music stuff. And yeah, feel free to follow this channel. I'm traveling through time now. Nice. I don't think you are, but thank you. But it's a normal speed, 1 billion times better with the film and series, nothing. But I'm going to remember this one. So, The Waking Life, lucid dreaming documentary. The Waking Life, The Waking Life. I got you. Appreciate you. Anyways, thank you so much for chiming in. Remember to love yourself, to honor yourself, and to honor each other. Yeah. Thank you so much. Much love. Bless. Ashe.